Well, that is the danger of the sport. That's why it's so different than every other sport. It's like you legitimately putting your life on the line.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that until something happened.
Right.
You know, us boxers, a lot of boxers have died in that ring. A lot of boxers have went in the ring one way and left it a different way.
Yes.
You know, so when a lot of fans, they criticize boxers for doing what the sport is for, and that's boxing. You know, us boxers, like, you're not even here getting your brains beat out. So what you consider boring, we consider us doing what the sport is meant to do, is box.
Right.
You know, and I think a lot of fans don't give a lot of fighters they just do for boxing. You know, like Floyd, like Shakur, you know, when they pure boxers.
Yes.
You know, they want to see people bleeding, battered, knocked out, you know, but they're not thinking about the aftermath and the after effects of them fighters going to the hospital, blood on the brains, blood and things like that. Like, your body is not meant to be beat on like that.
Right.
You know, so they just looking at, oh, well, I paid this money, y'all gonna go in there and kill each other. You know, and I think that's wrong.
Yeah, well, you're always going to have morons in this world. Yeah. You're always going to have casuals. You're always going to have people that don't appreciate what they're seeing.
Your body's not going to react when it's not fully hydrated.
No, not a chance. It's the worst way to fight. Yeah. You know, I think guys who cut a tremendous amount of weight, they do themselves a terrible disservice. They really do. I think it's terrible for your body. What's the most you ever had cut?
The most I ever had to cut was probably like 25.
Whew, that's a lot. Yeah. What weight was that, 35 or 40?
47.
47, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
My last fight was Spence.
And when did you start your cut?
Whew, months.
Months out.
Yeah, months out.
So the week of the fight, what were you at?
Probably like 152, 54.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's very good. Yeah. That's very reasonable.
Them last couple of pounds is tough.
Yeah.
Them last couple of pounds are tough. And I just knew that it was over with. I knew it was over with, you know. But the hardest cut ever was when I was at 135. That was like killing me.
What were you walking around at back then?
Probably like in the 50s. Like 55.
And so would you just lower your calories in camp?
Everything. And I gotta change my whole diet.
And then the week of the fight, what did you weigh when you were fighting 35?
I don't even, man, I was cutting like probably like 7 pounds the week of the fight.
See, that in the MMA world, that's nothing. These guys are cutting
because they wait to the last minute.
Yep.
I know a lot of MMA fighters.
Yeah, they just dehydrate themselves.
Yeah, they wait to the last minute. But mine, I gotta start gradually because I never want to go in there and just like tank.
Right.
So I gotta change my eating habits up months, like 2 months in advance. That way I can get my body used to being lighter and you know, performing at that weight class. Because if not, you know, you doing more hurting yourself than good, because you're taking all the fluid out of your brain.
Exactly.
You know, and yeah, I couldn't be at no disadvantage like that.
And it makes you more vulnerable to getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, Alex Pereira was the craziest example in the UFC. He was fighting at 185, and he would weigh 225 when he fought, which is bananas.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
crazy.
40 pounds.
I think that's why I got when I fought Gamboa, when I got hurt, you know, in the 9th round. But I stopped him in the 9th round. But that was part of that. Boom, caught me with a clean shot. Boom, I was like, oh. You know, until this day, that's the only fight that I got hurt like that ever. You know, a lot of people thought Mean Machine dropped me, Mean Machine hurt me. I didn't got Mean Machine hit me with some hard shots, some clean hard shots, but nothing was like that Gamboa. Like, my whole leg locked up, and I was just like, man, I gotta grab this dude, you know.
And you think the weight cut had a lot to do with
definitely,
that? Yeah,
definitely.
What weight was that at?
135.
Yeah, 135. You're a big guy, man. Yeah. That's a lot of weight to cut.
Yeah,
it's that's the most problematic part of MMA for sure. I was actually just having a conversation with Hunter Campbell about that. They're trying to devise strategies to discourage these big weight cuts and trying to figure out what to do.
It was crazy though, because I always been skinny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people, they say, oh, he's a weight bully. He's this, he's that. And it's like, bro, I came from 132. I wasn't at, you know, you see a lot of these fighters, they in the amateurs, they like Sean Porter, he was at 165, then he went to 147.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people, they was heavier, then they dropped weight. I was at 132, and I moved up to go at 135, you know, as a professional. And I was cool with the weight. Then I just started filling out once I start, you know, working out more and doing a little strength and condition. And I just started, my body started filling out. So I kept moving up. But the weight that I was at with Canelo, that's the most comfortablest time of my career to be able to eat whatever I want, not focus on weight. Just
Did you feel
out.
much better in the ring because of that?
I did, because that was the only time that I never, like, I had to eat to keep my weight on me.
Wow.
And it's like, I'm not used to doing that. Like, I'm used to, you know,
starving.
We got portions. It's like they feed me big meals. I'm like, I can't eat all this, you know. But so that was the one camp that it was like the weight was an issue.
Do you have a nutritionist in camp?
Yes.
And so how do they do your meals? Is it all based on X amount of protein, X amount of carbs, it's all weighed out?
All that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they weigh you, check you, make your body fat.
They ask me what I weigh in the morning, every morning.
What did you weigh like when you got into the ring?
I think I was like 72.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a few pounds.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't weigh. I probably was a couple of pounds. Yeah.
The only difference in MMA is obviously the grappling, you know, and it plays a big advantage if you can get a lot of weight on a guy. That's why a lot of guys do it. It's also, MMA is very flawed. And one of the most flawed aspects of it is the weight classes. There's just not enough weight classes.
Yeah.
There's giant leaps. Like between 205, the next weight class is heavyweight. So it's 205 to 265. 185, the next weight class is 205. That's 20 pounds. 170 to 185. 15 pounds is a lot.
A lot.
That's a lot.
7 pounds is a lot.
55 to 70. Yeah, 7 pounds is a lot.
A lot of people don't know, but I was way stronger at 47 than I was at 40. And that's only 7 pounds.
Right.
That's 7 pounds of muscle that I don't have to cut.
Right.
You know? And a lot of people think, oh, it's just 7 pounds or 135 to 140. It's just 5 pounds. Oh, that matters.
Yes, it matters a lot. And for fighters, there's a lot of guys that are tweeners. They're too big for 155. They can't make the weight. And then they're too small for 170.
Yes.
Because at 170, you got guys that are never going to make 155. They're coming down from 210 and they're getting to 170 and they're jacked.
I know somebody that was coming out from 230 fighting at 165.
Oh my God. Who was that?
I ain't gonna say his name.
Well, Anthony Rumble Johnson was the craziest one that I ever saw.
230.
Anthony Rumble Johnson was 230 and he was fighting at 170. I ran into Rumble once, rest in peace. He died a few years back. I ran into Rumble once when he was fighting at 170 and he was in between fights, and I ran into him at the hotel and he was heavyweight. He was so big, I go, what do you weigh?
Yeah.
And he said 230. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. You have to cut 60 pounds?
Yeah.
But it was killing him. It was killing him, like literally to the brink of death the day before a fight. That doesn't make any sense. And they were all doing it because they all felt like they had to be the biggest guy in there.
Yeah.
Not smart. No.
At all.
I think for MMA, they really need to recognize this, that one of the things that's going to stop weight cuts is give people more weight classes, give people more options. This idea of only having 8 champions, I think, in MMA is very, very limiting. It's also limiting the potential of a guy like you to go up and up and up and win championship after championship. In MMA, if you win 2 belts, that's crazy. That's the only thing anybody's ever done.
Weight classes is so far apart.
Exactly. It's the only people that have ever done it have done it in 2 weight classes. No one's done it in 3. You know, Pereira might try to do it at heavyweight. He might try to go up to heavyweight now because he's walking around like 240, which is crazy because he used to fight at 185. If they had more options and they had more weight classes, I think we'd have more competitive fights. We'd have less extreme weight cutting. We'd have healthier fighters. Just more champions is better. I mean, there's a lot of guys that could be champions. There's not a weight class for them. If there's a 20-pound gap, 20 pounds is so much. If I put 20 pounds of bone and muscle on this table and showed you what it looks like, you'd be like, whoa, that's a crazy amount of mass. And the difference between losing that, gaining that, being in the middle of that, it's pretty significant. So for a lot of fighters, their frame doesn't line up perfectly with whatever the division is. It just, they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It does.
Well, I think extreme weight cutting is the worst thing that's ever happened to the sport of MMA. And
Any sport.
Any sport. But in boxing, it's not as extreme. No one really does it. Jerry McClellan used to do it.
Yeah.
He got real big in between fights. Real big. He was big. But that cost him in the Nigel Benn fight. I think that probably is what led to his bleeding of the brain. That's probably one of the contributing factors to why he's so hurt right now. Roy up too, because back at the time that was his biggest rival was Gerald, and Roy was always like, I do not want that ever happening to me.
Yeah, like I say, when you lose that weight and you don't understand, you losing that fluid in the back of your brain.
And it takes days for that fluid to fully return to your brain, especially when you're just drinking the water and not IV rehydrating.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's but I mean, boxing's been around longer. They've got it figured out, and unfortunately or fortunately, the UFC dominates MMA, and they only have 8 weight classes, so everybody else only has 8 weight classes. California has instituted a bunch of different weight classes, but the UFC has a heavyweight limit. You know how crazy that is? Isn't that stupid? It's stupid, right?
It definitely.
Talk to these people.
I'm just now learning about that.
You didn't know? 265.
No,
you have to weigh 265. So think about Tyson Fury. When Tyson Fury fought Deontay, he was like 280, 285.
Yeah.
Imagine he's got to dehydrate himself. He's got to lose 20 pounds just to make the weight class. That's retarded. That doesn't make any sense at all. At all. It's the heavyweight.
It's the heaviest weight we can go.
Remember Valuev when he was fighting Evander Holyfield? Oh
Dude
my
was huge.
God. He had to be over 300 pounds. He was a literal giant, an actual giant. Yeah.
So I think that's something you need to talk to Dana about.
Nobody listens to me, bro. They don't. They don't listen to me. They think I'm crazy.